Duitsland versloeg gisteren Antonio Alcinas. Heet hem hartelijk welkom uit Kassel, Bracho, Dragutin, Horvat! En dan zijn tegenstander een man die snel omhoog gaat op de wereldranglijst. Vorig jaar finalist op de UK Open en op de PDC World Cup. Een paar weken geleden nog stond hij in de finale in Oostenrijk. Currently ranked number 11 in the world. It's the Iceman, Gerwin Price!
With the bass kicked in and the Vegas are pumping. Quick to the point, don't fake it. Cooking them cheese like a pound of bacon. Burning them, you're not quick and nimble. I go crazy when I hear a cymbal and a hi-hat with a souped up.
En twee fantastische spelers op het podium hebben ook een goede scheidsrechter nodig. De man die altijd lacht, altijd vrolijk is en eeuwig jong. George Noble!
Almost 2 years ago, Dragutin Horvat went to the International Darts Open and made it all the way through to the quarter-finals, his best ever run in a PDC event. He started off by beating Ricky Evans. His campaign was ended in the last 8 by Kim Huybrechts, but in the second round, at this stage of the tournament, he knocked out Gerwin Price, the Iceman, and it is the Welsh #1 he goes up against again here at the Dutch Darts Masters, here in Zwolle. However, Gerwin seems rejuvenated following his elimination from the Premier League. He's been looking very, very dangerous of late, suggesting that he could go and claim a third PDC title. Back-to-back quarter-finals, one in Barnsley, one in Saarbrücken. He then made the final in Austria and was pipped by his fellow Welshman, the ferret Johnny Clayton. There's no ferret here anymore. Well, both ferrets got knocked out. The sweet ferret Johan Engström and Johnny Clayton, beaten in round 1 yesterday. So the Welsh hopes are pinned firmly on their top player, the man from Markham, Gerwin Price. Chris Murphy joins me, Dan Dawson, in the commentary box for the Iceman versus Brazo.
Going to first. Game on.
Yeah, Gerwin Price, a different beast to that which we saw in the Premier League. Having been eliminated from that tournament, he went on to reach the final of the Austrian Darts Open. And we've just seen one seeded player be toppled from the tournament in John Henderson.
100.
A quick word on that one, Dan, because that was a big opportunity missed for Hendo, wasn't it? With the withdrawal of Rob Cross in that part of the draw.
It was, and Hendo, he's worked so hard to get into the seedings and played some fantastic stuff. But you do go out in the second round as a seed and you don't get ranking money. And with no Rob Cross there, I know Steve Lennon's a fantastic player. I've spent a lot of time bigging up Steve Lennon, but it is an opportunity for somebody not going up against the world champion in the last 16, as they might have expected to be doing if they'd made it that far. So it's a disappointment for Hendo, but we have seen already this year that he's playing some excellent darts. So don't rule out the Highlander having another run at some point.
As for Price, well, he's already won a couple of PDC titles, and he will have been disappointed not to have had a third in Graz. His first on the stage. And he lost out to his World Cup of Darts partner, Johnny Clayton.
60.
Yeah, I think that Welsh team looks very, very dangerous at the World Cup. Another one there. No, he's moving down.
He does try and do everything he can to try and leave double top, Gerwin Price. And 180 for Horvat would leave that, but it's not going to happen.
95, going to require 54.
Single 14 for his favourite double top. He's dropped his darts, just readdresses.
34.
Misses that as well.
Dragutin uniform 125.
We'll be looking at the bullseye. Treble 20. And you can just see the frustration there. It was
65.
close, but not close enough.
You require 20.
Price is chasing the doubles around. And with little success, with no success.
Dragutin requires
An early
60.
chance. Is Dragutin going to prove to be Gerwyn Price's bogeyman?
And you saw on the first leg, Dragutin Hall.
A little early to say that.
Second
but
leg, Dragutin to throw first.
Gerwyn Price
Game on.
had that leg in the palm of his hand and it slipped from his grip.
It's not especially
41.
impressive, but plenty of time to turn it around. Dragutin Horvat, one of 4 German players who qualified for this event.
97.
Already seen the demise of Michael Rosenauer, Tobias Muller and Kevin Munch. He's the last German standing.
85. $140.
Whoever wins this match
45.
would expect to face the number 2 seed Peter Wright, but he's going to have a game on his hands later on this evening when he faces James Wilson, one of the top performers.
41.
Although that's not necessarily a guide as to what's going to happen today, because Wayne Jones was the top performer and hardly turned up against Kim Huybrechts in match 1.
Yeah. Could be a guide as to how they'll perform, but often it just seems pretty much
41.
irrelevant, doesn't it?
Having said that, James Wilson's form has been much more consistent than that of Wayne Jones of late.
97.
Certainly has.
I think he will be a threat to Snakebite tonight.
Well, Dragutin,
26.
obviously a man who's made the
Go, you
quarterfinals on the
require
Euro Tour before,
26.
beating seeded players along the way. But he's not exactly been tearing it up in the domestic league in Germany. He played the Super League
86.
over a series of weekends across the year. And he's only just squeezed into the German Darts Masters. You've got to be top 6 for that, and he's actually
100.
7th. But because
No,
Martin
you're
Schindler, who's already
40.
guaranteed, he's going to move up one and squeeze in there.
Are you sure?
Gerwyn does pin double top to break straight back. So you look at the players that are above Dragutin in that league, the likes of Manfred Bilderl, Stefan Stoiker, both guys we've seen on the Euro Tour in the past, but have never really, they haven't hit the heights that Dragutin has.
There's going to be some experience for the players involved in that tournament. Record-breaking crowd.
100.
Already guaranteed, isn't it, a record-breaking crowd at that World Series of Darts event?
Yeah.
140.
What, 12,000 in Berlin, that was the post-war record, but there was a higher record from the News of the World for a darts event. It was a PDC record, but I think they had 14,000 at a News of the World final prior to the Second World War.
140.
But this will be at least 17. It will be unlike anything any of these guys have ever
81.
experienced.
124.
The price looking at 124. Needn't go for treble 18. But yeah, the German crowds, we've noticed
100.
perhaps much more than you'll see here in the Netherlands, get very vocal, don't they? So when you've got, approaching 20,000 of them,
140. You require 24.
could have an effect on some of the performances and results.
Are you sure on the third leg? Gerwyn Price.
It
Public
could do,
Dragutin to
and
throw first.
particularly if they've worked themselves up
100.
in the, or working themselves up for the World Cup, because I mentioned this Welsh team could be dangerous. That German team
93.
looks good because Martin Schindler continues to get better, and Max Hopp has already shown us that he is back playing some dangerous darts again. Won one of these Euro Tours, the first German to win a PDC ranking title. And there may be a bit of a buzz. You can't underestimate how big the game is getting in Germany.
190.
Some of the sponsors involved, you know, the major newspapers and the amount of coverage it's getting.
100. 49.
World Cup of Darts will follow the German Darts Masters. Just a one-day event, that World Series event. Cram everything into one massive day at the Schalke ground in Gelsenkirchen as Dragutin looks to fill this up.
Can he cram everything into the same bed?
139.
Decided to switch. It's not going to matter.
40. Dragutin, you require
Could have gone for the bullseye
102.
section, leave himself a two-darter.
I was going to ask the question whether that would have been the sensible play. Double top.
62.
Because their first dart into a treble, he'd have had two darts for the leg rather than the one.
95. Dragutin, you require 40.
To level up then. Down to double 10.
And you show on the full flag.
There it is.
Then go into throw first.
Edged out Tony Alcinast yesterday. Did Horvat.
58.
Who would have had mixed emotions, having been beaten himself, but then was cheering on Cristo
100.
Reyes, who knocked out James Wade in something of a shock.
Yeah, the Spanish #1 returning to form. There have been little green shoots of recovery from the Spartan, but
105.
looked a little bit more solid than that last night, averaging 100 for most of the game.
He did, because for a period of time, as we see if Horvat can fill it up this time, which he can. Alcinast was kind of overshadowing him, wasn't he, for the last, 6 months?
Yeah, certainly. And underlined by
98.
victory at the World Championship against his compatriot. Dragutin might have kicked in here.
171.
180, 171, leaves 50 after 9.
Yeah, and it's on the price throw.
100.
Is he going to do the MVG?
I hope so. Straight at the ball for a 10. Oh, boo. Boo him, Zvola.
18.
Now.
Go, you require 140.
At his best, Gerwyn Price loves a big finish, but he's not going to take one out here.
85. Dragutin, you require 32.
Another chance for the German. And it's a chance that he's taken. I'm not sure if Gerwyn Price is one of those players who remembers every match that he's been involved in, but he might be starting to get a sense of darting deja vu here.
Went all the way to a last leg decider when they met at the International Darts Open back in September 2016. Played some very good darts all weekend, Dragutin, in that tournament. And that's more like it from Gerwyn Price. His first maximum and the first bit of aggression we see from the Welsh #1.
Well, Horvat laughing it off.
140.
Decent response. Gerwyn Price, a master at celebrating in the face of his opponent.
97. 100. 57.
Well, curiously, you look at the Players' Championship series of events, Gerwyn Price is ranked higher than the likes of Michael Smith and Peter Wright in terms of the overall average over those tournaments.
57.
Only 10 players higher than him. And some of those from very small sample sizes, like Jason Lowe, for example.
Yeah, we've been saying it a few times when we've seen Gerwyn Price on the live stream darts, the Pro Tour darts, whether that be on the European Tour or the Pro Tour. The Premier League is the one that everybody watches and pays attention to at this time of year, as Price looks at double 15 and takes it out for 110.
Gerwyn Price.
But it hasn't just been since the
So
Premier League.
going
It's been
to
decent
Horvat.
stuff apart from the Premier League for Gerwyn Price,
Yeah.
including a run at the UK Open finals.
Game on.
Yeah, well, he played fantastically. Beat the always dangerous professional amateur man who knocked out 2 world
59.
champions the previous year, Paul Hogan. Perfect first start. A little bit awkward, maybe.
140.
Bounced off the barrel, didn't it?
Couple of MVG shirts in the crowd there. One very enthusiastic fan. Van Gerwen is on the way tonight to world number 1 in the penultimate game of the evening session against Terry the Bull Jenkins.
60.
Winner of this one, James Wilson, or the world number 2, Peter Snakebite Wright. Other half of the draw, of course.
98.
Wright is the number 2 seed, Van Gerwen number 1, separate halves of the draw. First 2 Euro Tours of the year saw Wright Van Gerwen finals, but it's been very different since then.
85. Gerwyn requires 76.
Price to get his nose in front for the first time since leg 3.
Gerwyn Price. If they drag it into Horvat.
Well, it's one of those topsy-turvy games where the lead has changed hands as many times as it possibly could over the course of the match so far.
37.
Dragutin 1-0 up, 2-1 down, 3-2 up, 4-3 down.
Well, the good sign for Gerwyn is that he's just taken out 2 clinical kills.
180.
Giddy up, Gerwyn.
I didn't think we'd see much
100.
more aggression than we saw from Kim Huybrechts earlier on, but Gerwyn Price is up for the fight.
Yes, and his average is going up and up.
140.
5 perfect darts, but no more. Gerwyn Price will not produce a perfect leg. Not this leg, anyway.
97.
It's impressive stuff from Gerwyn Price, embroiled in a battle, and he could be making his sprint finish here.
97. Continue
Horvat
167.
Find something very, very special indeed.
126.
Well, he almost did.
Going, you require 84.
But Gerwyn Price has just taken out 110, followed by 76. And he adds 84 to that list.
Gerwyn Price.
And that puts him on the brink of victory.
Well, 110 checkout under massive pressure to break straight back and go 3-all, then firing in that 14 darter, then 5 perfect darts, taking out the 84 with Dragutin, and there you go, 15, 14, 12. Gerwyn Price, well, his winning legs have been very good, but it's just that horrendous first leg, and he's not challenged that much in the other ones that Dragutin has won. He hasn't had darts for them or anything, and that just drags his average down to that 93 mark that he's on. But it's been pretty good, and particularly as the game has gone on when he's needed to find stuff, he has done.
81.
And that's the kind of thing that Gerwyn, perhaps, when his confidence was seemingly shot, when he was at his lowest during that Premier League campaign,
60.
he just didn't have it. Something went wrong, and the game just went, and he had no reserves to call upon, or it felt like that anyway.
Yeah, and this has been the exact opposite, hasn't it, this match? He was in a battle, playing about the same standard as his opponent for the first 6 legs of it. and then found an extra gear.
But
Horvat might have a few more to go through.
He may well do, because he's going to get a couple of visits from 162,
60.
and it would be a break of throw if he can get this leg in the bag.
$105.
Yeah, leaves himself 57. Should get 2 darts for the leg. A ton 40 needed really for going price, and that's not going to happen. So it looks like
38.
game on here. This game that was flip-flopping for the first 7 legs or so, and then it looked like Gerwyn Price had it. Might not be.
17.
Made a mess of that, but he knows he's going to return.
He's going to return under some pressure. Price
83.
the first start would have hoped
40.
to be on a much smaller finish than that.
A shot to the knife leg.
We still have a game on our hands. Gerwyn Price still has a game on his hands.
Throw first. Game on.
Just when it looks like somebody's getting the upper hand in this one, they just let it go.
You just see there, Price is shaking the head. Bemused, confused.
140.
It went all 11 legs for Dragutin Horvat
100.
against Tony Altinas, who mismatched darts, didn't he?
He did, he missed 3 of them. And Tony was last seen shaking his head as he walked off stage. He's
60.
not a happy camper. I don't think Gerwyn Price will be if he throws this one away, and he will feel as if he's thrown it away because it was there.
Yeah, he'd done the hard work, hadn't he? He got to the line. He hasn't managed to cross it yet.
Yeah.
Horvat seemingly
100.
determined to play his full quarter of legs this weekend.
In rugby terms, to
59.
hark back to Gerwyn Price's days as a professional rugby player, he's broken through the line, he's clean through, the try line's in sight, and he's run into the post before he can put the ball down, or he's dropped it.
140.
Because he went 15 darter, 14 darter, 12 darter. And now he's being taken all the way to a last leg decider by the looks of things. That's
100.
not enough to leave a finish. Dragutin has got time on his hands.
Too good, that one. That leaves 11. That leaves 8.
53.
It leaves 4. But he knows, sorry, it still leaves 8. It went outside, but he will return.
$140. Continue to require 8.
Well, it has to go.
Good guide, isn't it? Wrong side. Well, that's it.
Now
we are going all the way. Last time this pair met, it was 6-5 to Horvat. Is it going to happen again?
140.
Well, he's done that a number of times in this game, Gerwyn Price, where he's put the first 2 in the 60 and not been able to follow it. And
45.
It shouldn't matter now because he's got pretty much 100 points head start in this last leg decider.
$58.
Well, one big visit could change things. That's unhelpful. Better.
121.
And just carries on, just hanging on. Gerwyn Price unable to shake off
59.
Dragutin Horvat.
2 great darts to start the leg, and then every single one of the 7 that have followed have not been good enough.
60.
And this could turn into a scrap to drag themselves over the finishing line.
60.
Certainly is a scrap, and you can see Horvat trying to pump himself up in the background before he approaches the hockey. He needs to find 1 treble. Now, he can't leave a
60.
finish. He could have hit a treble and then maybe gone down for the 25 bullseye area. So Price has 2 visits from here.
Is that a smirk? That's a smirk.
128.
2 match darts coming in for Gerwyn Price at his favourite double on the board. But Dragutin piles on the pressure. He stole it away from Gerwyn Price when they met first time round. And he may do so again.
Well, this would be some story. Enter the bogeyman. To hoist Price by his own petard. Double top.
56.
And the Welshman will
required
return.
20.
There's only one Welshman and one German left in this tournament. And now there's only one Welshman. The German is out. Mr. Match Dart. Price gets some kind of revenge for his defeat to Horvat at this stage of a Euro Tour just a couple of years ago.
Gerwyn, congratulations. It looked like you had that game where you wanted it, you kicked in, but then all of a sudden you found yourself having to survive a match start.
Yeah, I mean, early on I think I deserved to probably be 3-0 up and probably beating myself up all through the game. I didn't play well there. I started off all right and then put myself under pressure, which you could tell in the end, but you know, a win's a win. I'll move on to tomorrow.
The results have started coming for you in a big way since your elimination from the Premier League. Has it felt like a sort of weight's been lifted off your shoulders at all?
No, not really. You know, I put the pressure on myself. I was sort of going to the Premier League in the wrong frame of mind and putting myself under pressure and putting in my head really that I didn't want to be there. So I wasn't used to it. I wasn't used to the situation and being away a lot of the time. And you know, if I ever get there again, I'll learn how to deal with it and I'll be a better player. But I'm happy I'm out of it now and I can concentrate on these events and the Pro Tours and whatever else is to come.
Congratulations, Gerwyn Price safely through to the final day of action. Coming up, Ryan Joyce against the King, Mervyn King.